High Gas Prices, a poem by French Louis. When I was in high school, 89 cents was the price of gas. I remember this because one time we ran out as we were pulling into a service station. Yeah, we were driving fast, but we made it just as we ran out. But we didn't have any money, but luckily there was some change in the dash. Some nickels, dimes, and even a bunch of pennies. And this was in 1998, way after the old days, when even a nickel lasts. But it wasn't always cheap. The price would change as time would pass. Once upon a time, my dad was in California. During gas shortages, this was back in 1979. Gas was over $7, and there were huge lines. He remembers this because one time as he was waiting at the pump, O.J. Simpson rolled up, and a fancy car was his sign. And he budged the line. So why does gas prices change so much? Are they producing a different kind? Or is it because bankers have a monopoly by controlling the mind? Do they do this with food and commodities too, making it hard for one to dine? There is a process and a buy-in price, and some things are locational, like the process of growing wine. But if you understood the process, we could understand the high prices. Let's seek in order to find. Remember supply and demand? Let's examine the accountant's line. Start with the costs. If you don't make more than 50% of what you spent, you will be running your business at a loss. Because in order to sell it again, you need enough money to buy more sauce. But then how do we prohibit the high prices from going up when you have a greedy boss? I know. The answer is in competition. This will set the price. Because making it fair and good for everyone should be the business's true mission. If you charge too much for candy, someone else will just charge less. And if it's just as good, it's the lower price that will win. This will set the price low because people want to save their money so they can pass it on to their future kin or save it for an emergencies in their piggy bank's bin. So why don't we do this with oil? Let me tell you, it's because John D. Rockefeller said competition is a sin. He worked for the Queen, distributing oil and fixing the price. So it's only the oligarchs that can win. They use crises and clubs like OPEC to steer the price by controlling the production and the distribution. It's a secret club that we're not in. Then it gets political. OPEC, the Trans-Pacific Partnership, if you speak out and say it's price fixing, get ready to hear people call you cynical. Now they even want to control paper money, turning the currency into only digital. Because these people that control the oil steer the monetary policy. It's a debt system with so many fallacies. And it's perpetuated by getting people to ignore reality. I like the environment, and I don't like pollution, but blaming everything on this is straight up collusion. Solar energy is just too expensive, and it doesn't work well, and it's the oligarchs that are providing this as the solution. The problem is carbon, they say, but it's really just an excuse so they can keep their money and continue to rule the day. Plants make great fuel. Henry Ford wanted to sell you a car and stills to make your own gas. This is what his newspapers say. But the other papers said ethanol's bad, so the voter caved. And now the oil producers are paving the way. Their plan is to keep energy too expensive because ending competition to them is keeping takers at bay. And making everything about spirituality is how they confuse you by creating the problem that keeps your mind in a spiritual daze. Stop cheerleading for big banks. Your life is already a waste. Vote for cheap energy. Come on, Democrats. Save some face. Your political arguments are way off base because your science is manipulated by people that fund the cops and then say go spray the protesters with mace. They don't want competition. Come on, it's simple. I've solved the case. So let's fix the price. Compete. Everybody. Do something. The YouTubers will teach us how to grow rice. We're figuring everything out, like how to, without chemicals, exterminate the mice. But it's bankers who own the businesses that prohibit this. It's a heist. And they do it by controlling the politics. They use divide and conquer, creating problems. It's like they give us spiritual lice. And the solution is to use their remedy. But the solution is too expensive as they lecture us, making us feel guilty by saying play nice. So come on, everybody. Let's live on our own terms. Grow your own food and fuel. Or know the person that does. Work together. Come on. Let's roll the dice.